What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Bless, and you are locked in to the M.O.T podcast, a moment of truth. Right about now, I got my co-host Lemme Kno on the boards, and I got a very special guest this week, my homie Tong B, promoter extraordinaire. He's launching a brand new project. He just launched a brand new project, a very dope supper club that we came to check out the other night. Introduce yourself to the people.
What up, what up? I'm Tong. Basically, I'm known for the nightlife scene. Been in it for a while now, like at least over 15 years. Seen you around for at least 15 years.
We've been seeing each other around, yes.
Yeah.
We've had many a drunken night together. For everybody who's not familiar maybe with the scene in Montreal, people who are not from the city, or, you know, if there's people living under a rock who've never been to a happening nightclub in the city and don't know your face, how did you get started as a promoter? How did you get started in nightlife?
I actually, a lot of my friends back when I was like in university and shit, a lot of my friends were DJs or club promoters, and I would just come hang out. But I would literally just, let's say one of my friends was a DJ, I would literally just help him carry his, because back then they had crates. You know, they didn't have laptops, so
That's a good starting point.
Yeah, like that's like one of the reasons I came out, was to help my boy carry his crates to the club. And
That's right.
I would legit sit in the DJ booth from 10 to 3 a.m., not talk to anybody, just sit there with my boy. But because I'm sitting next to the DJ, every time the owner would come by, ask if he needs a drinking thing, I'd get to know the owner and then the owner's friend. And then I just kept meeting people. And then over the years, the owners were just like, yo, why don't you start getting into the business? You know a lot of people.
Yeah.
So then.
And you are a fantastic host. I definitely give you your props.
Thank you.
Bless, please break that down.
I mean, you know, he's a staple in Montreal nightlife, you know, and for me, I've always thought that he's one of the top promoters because he brings a really amazing crowd. The vibe's always good. The music's always good. He's only had amazing DJs play, and he always kind of picks spots where there's a healthy balance of where you're gonna get the music, but there's gonna be beautiful ladies, and that's why his nights have been very successful.
I appreciate that. Well, honestly, if you knew me when I first started out, I'm not gonna lie, when I first started out my gigs, it was like I was still that dude sitting in the DJ booth, not moving.
Take us there. What were these clubs? What were these spots?
Actually, my first gig wasn't even a real promoter gig. I was one of my boys was like head promoter at Stereo. So Stereo was like, you know, after hours, and they're giving out reduced passes. So he told me, you know, a lot of people had these out, and I'll pay you per pass. So I actually wasn't even going into the club. I was just
sub promoter.
Yeah. And then got to know more people from that. And then one of the clubs that I started at was called Juice. It was actually on Prince Arthur and Saint Laurent. And they had a solid Saturday going on, but they didn't have anything going on Friday. So then I took on the Fridays, and it was my first actual like real night. Like I was spearheading the whole thing. Like I had to do everything from A to Z. But again, I still didn't know the hosting aspect of the business. I only knew I'm gonna bring you people, and then once the people get inside, I don't really know what to do with these people.
That's right.
Right? So if you knew me back then, I don't think you would say I was like one of the best hosts out there.
But you are now. You definitely are, and I think that a lot of people could agree with me on that. What part of the city do you hail from? Where do you come from originally? Where'd you grow up?
I'd say I grew up in TMR. Most of my life lived there. My parents moved there when I was like 12 years old, and I briefly moved downtown. And you know what I found? I found like when I lived downtown, it was just because I'm always downtown and I'm always going out and I know everybody in the scene. When you live 2 minutes from a club, everyone's like, yo, I'm coming to pick you up. Or after the club, like, yo, we're going to your house, we're going to drink more.
Yeah,
so
I know the feeling.
That's a dangerous circle, right?
Yeah.
It's not where you want to be when you're working too.
So I just ran right back to TMR, because when I'm a bit further away, if they tell me, yo, let's go out tonight,
you can distance yourself.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'm too lazy to get up. But they're not going to say, I'm going to come pick you up either, because you live so far, right?
Bang on your door.
Yeah. So I like it. I mean, it's close to my parents too. Always been really close to my family. So what's crazy though is that now that I live right next to my parents, I see them less than when I lived downtown. Because when I lived downtown, I made a point. If I tell my mom, come and see you Monday, it means I'm coming to see you Monday.
Yeah,
but now because she lives 2 blocks away. If I feel lazy,
the convenience is there,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, I'm like, I'll go tomorrow, which I never end up doing, you know. But
What's your background, ethnicity-wise?
I'm actually Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really? I thought he was African. Okay. Just throwing it out there.
So growing up Vietnamese, what kind of music, cultural influences were you into? Hip hop? What were you into early
Stole my
as a
question,
kid
Bless.
coming up? Of course I did.
I was born and raised here, and when I first started going out to clubs, like I said, all my friends were DJs.
But hip hop, electronic, what?
Yeah, they were all mostly hip hop. But back then, you know what I find now is like now it's clubs are doing mostly hip hop, and you know there's like
Full circle again.
yeah, New City guys doing their EDM stuff. But then there's the clubs that still try to do house per se, but they start house and then they realize
That's right.
they can't maintain that.
Can't,
night.
yeah.
So
You can't deny the way.
When you say can't maintain, do you mean like end of the night can't maintain? They got to
No,
go to
it means
hip-hop?
they
Or,
gotta
like,
play hip hop.
Yeah,
They
it
do it
means
for like a month or two, and then they got to switch their format.
yeah, they do it for a month or two, and then when they realize at 1 a.m. if they don't drop those bangers,
That Kiki ain't playing.
yeah,
The bottles ain't popping.
yeah. So then I'm guaranteeing you, if you go to any hot club in Montreal right now, like bottle service club, if you walk in around 1 a.m., you're gonna hear hip hop,
Right.
You know, and there's a lot of clubs that try to go the other way, like you know, Flygin, Subois, and these 2 clubs are killing it. And they wanted to play just house, but you're gonna hear hip hop if you walk in.
You have to. It's more of like a mashup, for lack
Right,
of
you
a
have
better
no
word.
choice
Sorry
these
to use
days.
that
I'm
word.
with you.
Yeah.
When you started in the game, what's changed since then? Obviously, you said hip hop, but give me a couple like. Are people more strict with their clothes? Are they a little bit more lenient? As far as like maybe the overall vibe in the club, has it changed since you started? Personally, I'm not a big club guy, so I'm learning from you. You're not going to hear much from me.
So walk us through when you started. I already know what his answer is going to be, but I'm curious how he's going to phrase it.
You know what? When I started out, it was like the word VIP. It meant something. Like
People had bread to spend.
Yeah.
There was a surplus of money being harvested from the sky.
yeah, and it's like if you knew the promoter, that was like wow, like because everybody wants to know the promoter because there's really only like 5 real promoters out there, right?
What was your first big night after the juice and that? Like, what was your
the one that made
yeah.
like I started
made your reputation?
my name. I'd say like I started making a name for myself when I was at Tribe because they were booking big artists all the time. You know, like they booked Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian. So I was one of the head promoters there. So a lot of people got to know me.
That
then
gave you your springboard to be.
yeah,
able to,
but then I really got known when I started working at Opera.
That's right. Actually, that's probably where we met. We met pre-Wood.
Yeah.
It was probably Opera, Tribe. I used to do a night next door at Pub St. James
Oh, for real?
when you guys were doing Tribe. Thursdays. Me
Oh,
and
I remember-
Marco from
remember that.
Flygin, we started
Yeah.
there together.
I forgot about Pub St. James. That place was popping too.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
It was crazy because it was Pub St. James and then there was Tribe next door where he was, and the whole block was just hot. And this is when the Port became what the Port is now.
Yeah.
And it was that block.
Okay, I got a good one. Most bumping spots that you've seen through the years. Give me
They
some of
were
the hottest
mostly his
spots.
parties.
Your
Tribe would have
I'm
to be
sure.
one.
I'm saying
You
some of
talking
the
about
most
like from what I seen or just like right now?
from what you've seen from the beginning. I always try
What
to
were
bring
the
it
highlight?
back
What were the standout?
The things I could remember the most, honestly,
after those drunken nights, right?
no, even when I wasn't even in the game and I was just started going out. Something that was crazy to me, and I still haven't seen it to this day, was Sona. Just the entrance of Sona. There was no lineup. People just walked up, and if they like you, you came in. That was crazy.
You know about
to me.
that, Bless?
That was crazy.
Luckily, they liked me for I don't know.
And you know what's
reason,
crazy is because I actually knew the VIP door girl there, the girl that does the guest list, but she's actually a friend.
Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer. She was a really good
the
friend of
homie.
mine back then. And I was
Shout outs Jennifer and was it Dimitri? The dude who did the list.
I can't remember.
I think it was Dimitri.
I think Dimitri was doing stereo, no?
Nah, bro.
I'm on somebody else.
It was sometimes Jennifer.
Was it
and
Dimitri at
sometimes
both spots,
Dimitri.
maybe?
No,
It
no,
sounds
no.
like a good
Or maybe
bouncer
they
name.
might have stolen, but yeah, there
Yeah.
was a dude sometimes, and she was amazing. She was actually really cool.
She was actually like a good friend of mine. I actually hung out with her outside of like clubs and whatever. And she was dating one of my best friends too. So that's how I got to know her. So I would leave the club and then just bring her hot chocolate because it's freezing outside. But then she goes, yo, come inside for a bit. So I give her hot chocolate, come inside. So everybody in line's like, oh, so that's how we got to get in. We got to
Just
bring her hot chocolate. So she started getting, yeah.
That's a good one.
But,
the old hot chocolate.
But straight up, like,
Nah, she was cool though.
like Sona's like
Culture, yeah.
just like
Iconic.
yeah.
Well, not just,
It was a
you know,
big deal.
even for us as hip hop heads, it's one thing. But if, and I'm sure my producer Mano, he's behind the boards, like, yo, in electronic music,
Yeah.
that was like one of the top 5 biggest spots globally.
Yeah.
Right? You had like London, Paris, Berlin, New York, and fucking Sona, bro. Like,
You're right.
Facts.
That was a big fucking deal back then.
Probably a bigger deal for electronic music than even hip hop, but we were, you know what I'm saying?
They put
we
us
were
in the
on
basement.
downstairs in the basement, but it was probably a bigger deal
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
but
that was a special time. Some of your biggest bookings, Opera, Tribe, that were your events. Talk to us about some of your most memorable parties early, where you were really like, yo, this is what I want to do.
you know what? I think for sure Paris Hilton comes to mind because like back then it wasn't like now when you see what's going on with New City Gas and Beach Club and these guys are coming in.
It was groundbreaking.
Yeah, they're
Tribe.
coming every week. Whereas back, like if you go 10 years ago, you'd see Tiesto once a year or every 2 years if you were lucky, and he was probably playing at after hours.
He was playing at Aria for our parties on New Year's.
So when somebody actually booked Paris Hilton, and the fact that Paris Hilton was coming to Montreal,
Yeah.
it was just
Well, TMZ was there. I was at that party.
Yeah.
This was probably the first local party where like TMZ showed up. They actually sent cameras. It was a big deal. It was a big deal, a very big deal.
And I think back then she was one of the biggest stars at that time.
Well,
What
back
year
then
was
Kim
this?
Kardashian was her Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian was her assistant.
Yeah.
What year was this about? Like,
Wow, this is like
07, 06?
something like that. Yeah, 06, 07.
okay, so she was still doing her reality stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? She had the show with Nicole. Right? I was
Yes.
a fan.
The
I had
highlight
an ex that used to make me watch that, so I've probably seen way too many episodes than I should.
I never thought she was physically attractive.
Paris Hilton?
Yeah.
Personally, nah.
Well, if you
Skinny.
like walls,
Sliced bread.
If you like walls,
If you
that are
like the
flat,
bread from the provisoire, the death bread,
I'm all Nicole.
from the fridge.
Nicole Richie, like I honestly, I want to hang out with the dad and then go and deal with what I got to deal with.
Garbage. On to the next. So from Tribe.
Yeah.
I mean, I know from being in the scene, the culture changed in nightlife,
Yeah.
right? And a major transition point went from before our time and up, and then 2007 hits around the Tribe.
Yeah.
And the game starts changing, nightlife starts changing, probably politics start changing
that has a lot to
on
do with
what's
it.
tolerated or the kind of the direction, because we, correct me if I'm wrong, as Montreal, we're always known as like a nightlife capital. We were like a little Vegas North, where we had the most strip clubs per capita. People came here to beast out for the weekend.
Yeah.
Right? What have you seen over, let's say, the last 10 years change the most? Positive and negative, right?
Yeah.
Rise of social media versus the tightening of the screws, you know?
More drugs, less drugs. Is it like a calmer time that we're living in right now, or is the heyday behind us? And you know what I mean? Like where's the sentiment? Where's the general population at these days? Are they wild club goers? Are they younger crowds?
Well, it's always younger and younger crowds, I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, we're also getting older and older.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
so-
But more like in terms of what's the difference that you see from the Tribe era
Fair.
to now? Plus and minus, negative and positive.
What I find today is that we became lazy, but it's not our fault. It's just
Technology.
With everything that's it's available to us now. You don't have to put in the work as much. Like back in the day, for instance, I'll give you an example. Is when Opera approached me to work there. This is crazy though. Like I'll never forget this. This is one of the things I'll never forget in my whole career. Is that normally when people ask me to work, they're like, "Yo, we want to set up a meeting. Let's talk. We really want you to work here." So I'm at Opera one night, and then the night comes, lights come on, and Rafi.
Yeah.
So Rafi was an owner of Opera back then, and he goes to me, "How was your weekend?" I said, "Oh, really good." And he goes, "So where are you at now?" And I was actually at Lamouche back then.
Lamouche?
Yeah, this club Lamouche, right before Opera.
I was there too.
Yeah, Lamouche
I
just
did a Friday.
Yeah, Lamouche just opened
Yeah.
a few months, and they were considered like Opera's competition
Yes.
when they first opened, right?
Yeah.
So Rafi goes to me, what are you up to now? I'm like, oh, I'm at Lamouche. And he actually said to me, not anymore. I'll see you next weekend here. And I was like, and back then, like Rafi was like, if you're my generation, like there's some guys that are my generation promoters.
Well, because they did Joy.
Yeah. So we looked up to guys like Rafi.
That's an old school night. Tuesdays at Joy was another legendary sketchball night. That was an eclectic mix of characters, for lack of a better explanation. But that shit was Tuesday. If you were in Joy, you were somebody.
Exactly.
That was a night. That was one of the only nights, because Opera was a mega club, right? Opera was like the original New City Gas. Yeah. So you had somebodies, and then you had
fillers,
and it was a wide crowd, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody was at Opera. Yeah. But Joy, you have to be a somebody to be in there on it.
I remember Opera. Yeah. I don't. Joy is like, again, West.
It was on De La Montagne.
Yeah, it was smaller too.
Small spot.
Yeah, and that brings me back to, I mean, back in the day, like you said, you had to be somebody to get enjoyed, because the term VIP actually carried weight.
That's right.
Now, today, it's called VIP guest list, but it just means all you got to do is get a hold of a phone number of anybody.
Or just email a stranger on social media and say, I'm willing to spend money.
No, at all. Like, and the worst part is, too, like, I remember I was trying to go to Salvio's, and I hit up Jojo. He was DJing. So I said, hey, Joe, I want to go out tonight. Can you put me on guest list? He said, no problem, Tongue. I said, I want to bring a friend. Is that cool? He goes, you know what? I'm going to try to get you +1. Today, I'm getting people saying, I'm coming to the club tonight. Can you put me +50? And clubs will take it.
Because they want the money.
Is it because they want the business?
Yes.
Is that why?
Yes. They're hungry for the business.
Yeah, because, I mean, like I said, the scene's changed so much.
It's become more of a numbers game, correct me if I'm wrong, because it's beyond just dollars spent at the bar. They want to be popular. And in terms of popular, the more people snapping and tweeting and, Instagramming, the more it's good for the algorithm of the promo of the club. But back then, it was the polar opposite. Yeah. They wanted
social media... Sorry to cut you off. Has social media
has made it more accessible?
Has really like not ruined the game, but changed the game to such a big extent.
Has made it the VIP experience, I think, much more accessible.
Okay.
Whereas clubs were selective because they just wanted the right kind of crowd and the right kind of vibe, and then the spenders would be happy to be part of that.
Yeah, like back in the day, you wanted to be able, like you would be the one hitting up a promoter and hope that he writes you back.
That's right.
Today, it's promoters tagging you with 99 other people that they know on Facebook.
And their crowd are people that they don't even necessarily know.
Exactly.
Whereas we had a much more loyal, community when it came to nightlife. Like everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
It was just smooth.
It's a different game back then.
Well, yes.
I think it's like anything else. It's just the world was more personal or personable.
Personable, maybe.
Right? Personable, where it's like face to face, like you guys made friends with each other because you saw each other out. Yeah. Not through...
We just get tired of seeing each other.
But it's not through an app. Exactly. But you know what I mean? It's not through an app. It's not like you guys were friends before from like an online circuit. You guys made friends in the club or around the club scene.
All that to say, social media obviously has, revolutionized everything. But beyond just social media, when you see the kind of bookings, the size of bookings, the way people are partying, what's changed from, let's say, an Opera and a Tribe time period to now? Is there less money for the baller crowd? Is there less? Are sales up? Are sales down?
To be completely honest, with you, sales are down for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it. I've seen the nights of Opera. I've seen the nights of Cavalli Thursdays.
Another good night.
Coco Fridays. The numbers we were doing there.
You were there at Coco too?
Yeah. That was on Fridays, like the numbers we were hitting there on a Friday night. We were refusing enough people to fill up a Buena Noche and Globe. Never mind how many people we had inside.
That's a fact.
And now what's crazy is if you go around town on a Friday night,
nobody's sold out like that.
No, at all. Not even close. And if the place is like popping or packed, you're talking about a place that holds 200 people.
Yes.
Or a spot that holds maybe 400 people max, but
right, it's not 1,000 plus.
If you go bigger than that, the only way you're packed is if you have a huge booking. But
Right, dead mouse at what's it called?
Exactly.
At, what's the one? New City Gas.
Yeah.
Now you're getting a couple thousand people. Like,
Yeah.
good
Yeah, but
job,
people
buddy.
forget
but you
it
just
co-
spent 50,000.
Way more than 50,000.
Way more,
Let me
yeah.
promise you. You spent a good 150 plus
for
promo.
for dead mouse alone.
No,
in his
150
pocket.
plus
Oh
in
yeah,
his pocket.
that much?
Plus,
Okay.
plus. Yeah, those aren't small bookings. So definitely, I guess the volume has changed.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I'll be honest with you too. It's like I remember I used to get people from out of town hit me up, say, "Yo, what's going on tonight?" And I right away knew. Like I would say, "Okay, go here. Let's say go to Central Station or go to Opera or go to Tribe." Like you knew, you send them there, they're gonna have a good time.
Yes.
Today, if somebody from New York hits me up, goes, "Yo, I'm coming in this weekend,"
You don't know where
I'm
to
not
send.
sure, because
Do you have to wait till Wednesday or wait till Thursday to tell them there's a night?
Because it might be good by Montreal standards, but I mean, if you have somebody that's coming from, let's say, New York or Miami that are, typically used to,
going to live or going to
Yeah.
certain places.
we're probably not going to live up to that expectation.
So what are the spots? Like, I know you just said there are no spots, but if you were put on the spot right now and said,
Well, he
okay,
has many nights.
right, exactly. So like,
No, but what's crazy is that people hit me up all the time to go out on weekends, and I actually ask them what kind of vibe they're looking for, and I'll send them to somebody else because I know they'll have a good time. Because
That's right.
my mind frame is, I'm not going to send you somewhere that I know you're not going to enjoy yourself, because then you'll never call me again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's like, I want you to be like, okay, this guy is trustworthy. I know if I want to have a good time, hit this guy up, because I'm not trying to do this.
You're not trying to make a little extra
Yeah.
on the bottle service. You really are doing it because you want them to have a great
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's what killed the game too, because now like
greed.
well, it's also clubs being. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's a little desperate, because I don't agree with this. Like nowadays, if a guy has a random booking, and I don't know, let's say somebody from Toronto goes, "Hey, I want to go to this club. Can you set me up?" And the guy doesn't actually work there. He's gonna call the club and say, "Hey, I have a group for you, but I want a kickback."
Go above the
and
promoter's
the club will
head.
give them that kickback, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, you're fucking up the market, because
You're taking the power out of the promoter's hands.
yeah,
And you can't even control what's going on.
and like it kind of takes away from because for me, like if your club is so popping, those people are coming with or without that person.
So why you got to give them a referral?
But I think the game just like it became, because like I said, you're not getting those clubs that get 1,000 people coming in one night. That you need to take everything you can get, right? So they're too scared to lose that group of 15 or whatever, so
Yeah.
they're gonna do it. And then on the other end, for the promoter, it's like, if you're always gonna be that guy that's chasing after that $100, where are you really going in your life in this?
100%. And I think that's a big challenge for people who are promoters, where it's kind of like, if you don't do a good job, they get rid of you, and if you do too good a job, they don't want to pay what you're worth.
Yeah, but that's
You see what I'm trying to say? Because they feel like they're already popping.
yeah.
And I'm sure that's a challenge that you've faced, where obviously your work speaks for itself. This doesn't even, like, my point has nothing to do with you, because you really have a good, consistent crowd that follows you around, in my opinion. But I've seen that so
Appreciate that.
much. Once a guy like yourself builds a night, they just want to maintain it.
Yeah,
When a couple of young kids give them $100 in a bottle.
Yeah, it's obviously happened a lot over the years,
Yeah.
but usually
They don't have
it
longevity.
actually hurts the club more than the
Obvious.
promoter, because if the promoter put in the work and he's got that following, as soon as he dips, that crowd's gonna go, because it's not like he's gonna dip from that place and not work somewhere else, right? So you're that club's actually kind of hurting themselves, because then they realize, okay, wow, it was the promoter that
Right, they're losing an entity.
yeah, and I mean, unfortunately that does happen, but I also have worked with people that don't think like that, which is like,
They do long-term business.
yeah, but it's rare, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of stand-up dudes too in the business, and
Of course.
and
Those are the ones that stick around.
yeah, I mean, it's but at the same time, it's like, I can't, at the end of the day, it's like, it's not my club too, so if they decide, okay, well, we're paying this guy too much, we can't afford it, maybe that's another reason why they cut him too. But I just think if you had him if you took him from the beginning and he took it where it's supposed to be,
That's right.
then
You have to be
then he
loyal.
did his job.
100%. And the promoter deserves to reap the benefits of his hard work.
100%.
If it took him a year to build the night and it's going to fly for 2 more years, let the man make his money. He built you the night.
Yeah, 100%.
You're making 90% of the sales. Enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So, which leads me to my next question. So for young cats that might be tuning in and they want to follow in your footsteps, they want to get into the game, into nightlife, what would you suggest is the best avenue to enter this business in a serious way?
Honestly, for me, like one of my friends actually, he's a client that became a friend, and he said something to me that was like, I mean, it really touched me. I was really like humbled. But he actually grabbed me and goes, Tung, you know what I like about you? And I was like, what? He goes, you never call me to come to your nights. You never bother me. You never hit me up and say, yo, come to my party.
That's right.
And I told him, I said, well, straight up, people have the wrong, impression of promoters. Like,
That's right.
my job isn't
To solicit.
Yeah, my job is to make my party so hot that you want to come. I don't have to call you.
And personally, what I appreciate, because I'm a guy who's been in the nightlife, I was a promoter as a kid myself. I always appreciate, I think your strength, obviously you're good at bringing people to your nights, but I personally think that your strength is your hosting. You're very strong. You're always a gentleman.
When you say hosting, is it like, do you ever get on the mic, or is it like,
No,
he's just there and you see him and he's working
We're gonna
the
have a
room?
good time together.
He's working the room.
If I bump into him at one of his parties, or even just at another one of our friends' parties, he's a personable guy. He's a humble guy.
I keep thinking about De Niro in Casino. That's what I'm picturing.
Well, yeah. I
Where
mean,
he's
listen,
just like walking around, everyone knows him.
he doesn't have the
Ace.
He doesn't have the powder blue,
Right.
Suit pants and the loafers. But all jokes aside, a major part of having a successful running night with longevity is appreciating the people who are coming to support your movement.
Right.
So he's the kind of guy that he's approachable, he's humble, and
he doesn't have to solicit. That's a huge,
no
huge thing.
soliciting. He'll start the party.
Yeah, because
You
honestly,
understand? He'll facilitate it, and then you feel like, yo, I'm having a good time with my homie. Not only do I want to come back, but I want to spend some money because it's reciprocation. It's just the vibe is set straight. A lot of people, they don't have that personal touch. They get you in, they get their $4 ahead.
They're sitting up in a room
get their
upstairs
10
and that's
points,
it.
and they're just talking to girls, just being obnoxious and whatever. Call me next week.
But if you're going to host a night, be the host.
Yeah, 100%. Like I feel like anybody that comes out in your night, or just goes out in general, it might not even be my night, is to have a good time. And
That's right.
I've been in clubs for like half my life that I'm just so used to talking to people and like,
Being social.
making people have a good time. Like even my own wedding, put it this way, okay? My wedding,
Congratulations, by the way.
thank you, appreciate it. I got married last year.
Mazel
And,
Thanks for inviting me, fucker. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
so I told you, as soon as the first guest showed up, it's not like I forgot I was getting married, but it right away got
Turned
into
into an
like
event.
Tung the host.
Yes,
Like
sure.
I saw them like, hey, how's it going? How's everything? What do you want to drink?
Now you're schmoozing and
Yeah.
like you just forgot it's your wedding.
Ceremony didn't even start yet. There's no ceremony yet. They're still setting up. So I go, what do you want to drink? They tell me what do you want to drink. I go to the bar. I see my bartender's not even dressed yet. He's taking the glasses out, putting ice. I go, yo, I need 4 shots of Jameson and 1 vodka.
So he catapults the party, and
Right
that
away.
is what it takes to be great at what he does.
So he goes to me, telling the bar's not open yet. And I said, open the bar. So then the wedding planner comes up to me and goes, tell me we can't open the bar before the ceremony. People aren't supposed to drink before the ceremony. I said, I don't care. Open the bar.
That's right.
So so everyone would start coming, start doing shots, start doing drinks. Bar was open. This is at 5. My ceremony was at 6. So I noticed after my wedding that people were actually snapping their drinks while I'm saying my vows. Like they were just caught up in the party, right?
Vibe was
Right.
on.
Yeah.
Which was, I'm sure, was a very good wedding.
Yeah, but I was so stressed about. I wasn't like, like obviously I love my girl, but it was like I was stressed about people having a good time.
Sure.
Because I'm so
That's
used
just
to
the
this.
That's how your
mentality that you
program. Yeah,
have.
sure.
Like like he said too, like it doesn't have to be my night. I could walk into, let's say, Subwa. I don't work there, but if I see him or see you, I'm like, yo, let's party. Let's have
Let's
a good
get
time.
busy.
Yeah.
So you obviously have passion, love for what you do. Of
course.
Because this is something that like it engulfs your personality. It
Well, he's been
becomes-
doing this as a career for a very long
Right.
time. It's not like a college kid who
Through
wants
a
to
couple
get laid
parties.
on the weekend and meet a couple girls and drink some booze, and he
This is a
tells
career. This is a
he
full-time
tells his
deal.
fraternity come through like, This guy's been at it. He's been through the ringer, and he's still there. Stood the
I have
test of time.
I have an interesting question. Have you ever lost the passion? Have you ever had like maybe a 6 month or where you're just like, and how did you get it back?
Sure, he lost the passion for drinking many times.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Because it's an endurance thing, right? You're going to a club, you're staying up hours,
and he still looks so young.
But yeah, no, I'm
him
curious.
and Pharrell are neck and neck for.
Youngest
You
looking
can't
face.
tell. You can't tell the age.
No, the question is, have you ever lost the will or the drive, and how did you get it back?
Honestly, I keep myself so busy that
You don't have a choice.
I can't, like, I love what I do, but what I do notice is, like, because one thing I do is, let's say I start a night, I will never start a second night until that night is going well. So
Smart.
once one night is going well,
Then you
I'll
can
move on
talk
next.
about another
And then the only time, I'm not gonna say I'm bored, but once, let's say I have 3 or 4 nights that are all going well, it's not that I get bored. I'm just like, I don't feel challenged anymore.
You have to reinvent or
So I'm
tweak
Question.
things.
How many nights do you have now? Weekly, monthly, and what are they? Tell us.
Right now I have 5 nights, but my main nights are Joe verse Tuesday. Thursday I do somewhere, and then Sunday I'm doing confessional, and then on the weekends, right now I'm one of the owners of École Privée, so I'm
Congrats.
there.
Wow, that's a
Congrats.
bumping spot. My
Shout
brother
out
loves
Brooke.
that. I don't know. Maybe
Shout
you know
out
my
to homie
brother.
Brooke.
You know Tyler Lemko? He's friends with the owner. Maybe he's friends with, right? Like he's there all the time. Like they love him there.
And he just launched his own supper club. What would we call
It's
it?
more of a
Supper-
bar.
Oh, wow.
Bar, restaurant bar.
Okay,
Restaurant
what's
bar.
that?
Talk about
It's
it.
actually a dim sum bar.
Super dope.
I'm in.
Super dope. Beautiful place.
'Kay.
Great
Where we go? When are we
location. We'll go this
'Kay.
week. In the heart
I
of
want to
the
hear about
old
it.
port.
Let the band tell. What's
Basically,
the?
Basically, I have a friend that's a realtor, and he always sends me listings, and usually I just skim through it. And this particular location, I looked at it, and it was like right next to where all the clubs were, right? And it had a liquor permit too, and
Where is it? What part of the city?
it's in Montreal.
Okay.
It's on Notre Dame. It's actually right next door to somewhere.
Okay.
So I saw a location. I went to check it out, and being a promoter, I never wanted to open a nightclub. I always because I want to keep my promotion business and venture into other stuff. And what I found is in that corner, there's so many nightclubs and there's a lot of sit down restaurants, but there's no spot for you to
Casual.
go pre-drinking or go grab a bite. And if you don't feel like going to a club, you just sit at the bar and have a drink.
And don't get it twisted. It's a very nice spot. It's just a casual atmosphere. You know,
Like,
there's
it's
no
not-
lineup and all that.
Yeah, you're not gonna see like if you order a bottle, the waiter is gonna set up your bottle for you, but you're not gonna see the waitress coming out with like sparklers and do a dance for you. There's none of that. I just wanted to be casual. We play classic hip hop too. It's just a very chill, laid back spot. We serve food to 2 a.m. because there's some people that might walk out of the club at 2 and decide they're hungry too. So I just found that corner was like there's either restaurants or nightclubs. There's no,
And it's obviously sit down, but like, is it quicker service when it comes to the food stuff, or is it like you're there for a while and you're having a meal?
yeah, because
kind of thing?
it depends. It all depends. So let's say he's hungry and you just want to have a quick bite. All our plates are like tapa size, so small.
Amazing.
So
That's my favorite.
You could come out real quick. Dumplings are quick. You just steam them. So
Getting hungry right now. Just
Yep.
we can go there after if you want.
well, we might.
We might have to. You got 2 big guys here ready to go.
So I mean,
Dumpling to go with this tequila.
dim sum's pretty popular, and
100%.
it's not available really unless you go to Chinatown or go to a real Chinese restaurant. So
And your spot is much nicer than the traditional
it's different.
spots in China.
The lady yelling with the microphone.
It's a cool spot. It's a cool spot.
Yeah,
Everybody check it out. I highly recommend it.
It's it gives you a bar vibe, but I mean, there's dim sum. So
Right.
if you're craving dim,
Give us the name if you don't mind, just for people
it's
at home.
called Jiao.
Jiao.
Yeah.
Very cool. And it's located, what's the address?
399 Notre Dame West.
There we go. Guys, take note of that. Right?
So you got 5 nights.
Yeah,
You got a resto bar.
yeah.
What's next for you? What's your goal? Because you just said something interesting. Keep promotion, and venture into other things. What are other things that you would be interested in venturing into?
There's a lot of things. Like, even from the promotion side, what I learned is that I also went into consulting too, because a lot of clubs, because now it's different, right? Now you don't, back in the day, let's say we talk about opera, the team we had there was all like guys have been in business so long that the owners just said, hey, go fill up the club, or
Carte blanche, do your thing.
Go handle the branding, go do whatever,
Exactly.
right? Nowadays, the promoters you have today, it's like they wait on you to send them the flyer. They post the flyer, and
They all want to sub-promote. They don't want to take the lead.
There's no guy out there right now that's actually
Handling your A to Z.
building the night. Yeah, exactly.
Marketing your shit.
So then a lot of places end up needing somebody to help them with that, guide them with that. So
Social media, so on and so
yeah,
forth.
you know, and
That's good.
I got into that a little bit too. So that's like, I'm expanding the promotion side of this. But as far as projects, I always wanted a coffee shop, to be honest with you. Like I always wanted a spot like during the day to just hang out with the boys, or just, you know.
Well, tea's really big these days. As
Yeah.
much as coffee's the shit, I had a buddy who opened a tea shop on Park Avenue right before, David's Tea popped off?
Yeah.
Right before that. And he had these big urns with like copious amounts behind the counter. It was just a cool like vibe in there, but it was probably about 4 or 5 years too early. And I think now there's like a tea revolution going where
Yeah.
people
We
are
need to
off
open
coffee.
up a whiskey and green tea room, bro.
Wow. Wow.
Yo, if you actually want to do that, we're gonna edit that right out.
Exactly.
It's like exactly.
Right?
That was actually a good idea. We need to do like a Fugazi karaoke spot where they could play mahjong.
Yeah, I actually always wanted a karaoke spot too, like a nice one.
There's a lack of
And
good
the
karaoke in
project
Montreal.
is born.
Yeah.
If there's one thing, like I go to Toronto relatively often, and the karaoke bars there, they're hype.
Yo,
Yeah,
I went.
Here,
I went to an
They look run down.
after-hour karaoke spot in Toronto.
right? Exactly.
Speaking of that, and that was the first time, it was years ago, that it was like they brought us a pitcher of green tea, cold green tea,
Okay.
and a bottle of Johnny Walker in a pitcher after hours. And yo, we drank the whole bottle of whiskey mixed with that, and you know, the tea leaves and the green tea neutralizes that whiskey. We
didn't-
finished that in like 25 minutes, a whole bottle of Johnny Walker.
How many? How many of you?
Like 4 of us, 3 of us.
You went to work.
We were flying. And they had girls, right?
Yeah.
But they weren't strippers. They were almost like geishas.
Yeah.
They were just hosting.
Yeah.
They were dressed nice, and they were just chilling with you.
Yeah.
And the bill came at the end of the night, and the big homies that were taking us around in Toronto, Asian guys, you know, they took care of the bottle and everything. They were very nice of them. And then they hit my man with the $500 bill for the girls. I said, for what? I never saw that. Like, I mean, just legit hosting. No stripping.
Accompaniment or whatever
Bro,
that word is,
no
right?
stripping, no nothing sketchy, no massage, not even a hand massage.
Dude.
They were just chilling, pouring our drinks, and so I guess they were charging for the VIP treatment.
Right.
Yeah.
I was
The
in
whole
Japan
experience.
2 years ago, and that's the norm. Is you go into like a nightclub or any type of like social club, and there's girls there that are there. They're not having sex with you. You can't take them out of the club, but they're there just to be your accompaniment.
Geishas, I don't know what
Exactly.
you would call it, but honestly, a variation of that could be very cool for Montreal.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy to me is that, like you said, we were known for a nightlife. And if you go back like about 10 years ago, people were like coming to us to see what's going on.
That's right. We were leaders.
And now I find we're actually behind a lot of people. You know, and
I
it's
agree
sad
with
to
you.
me.
Do you think that's a money thing? Like the city is just old money? Do you think like what causes that?
I just, you know, I don't know what it is. Honestly, like when I was on the come up, and the guys my generation, we looked up to certain guys, and then they looked up to certain guys. So there was like, you know, there was like,
A hierarchy.
yeah, a hierarchy. And then obviously we were getting older, and the guys my generation, actually, like a lot of them just phased out or aren't in the scene that much anymore. We don't even know who's next. And
No, you don't know the up and comers. Like,
No,
are there guys that are hustlers that you see and you're like, you're gonna make it, kid? You're like,
it's different because
There
now-
must be. We just maybe don't know them. I
Yeah,
mean.
but the game changed too, because when I was coming up, you know, Tron, I worked at one of his clubs, and back then, like you said, the $4 per head, man, I was getting $3 per head. And it was like,
my numbers are good.
yeah, and it was like, the name had to be crossed off your list,
Yep.
and you're only getting paid if you actually hit 30 people.
Before 12:30 only.
And
you're lucky to get 10 points on the bottle.
yeah, and when I got 30 people on my list, he was proud of me. He gave me a 26 ounce of Smirnoff, and I was like so happy, right?
Yo, you know what used to kill me? Shout out JF and everybody at Lamouche, the old area crowd. So I used to do a lot of work with Aria. I used to bring a lot of big artists. And then when they opened Lamouche, they reached out to me also for a Friday, and I was there for a long time. And they were like, yo, you could take as much. It was Smirnoff or Absolute at Lamouche. I know you got those promo bottles. It was one of the two.
Man, for sure I wasn't taking the Absolute though.
Oh my God, it was so bad. Bro, I think I had 4 or 5 promo bottles, and by bottle number 2, you were blind.
Right.
We couldn't give it away. They used to say, go in the office, there's a crate of them, and just sign the board and take them. Shit, I just had to bribe people to come. Oh, you have a birthday? First 2 bottles are on me. Take it. It wasn't even digestible.
You couldn't give away the
It wasn't
Absolute.
even digestible.
It's rubbing alcohol. It's not
Literally.
the best.
And it made
It's
you
not the
blind after the second. Literally blind.
best. But after your 6th, 7th drink, it's all water, no matter what it is, right?
Well, I knew I would die if I kept that pace going
Fine.
for too long, Like,
Fine.
we have to back off of that.
Can I ask a question? What are some of the most popping, aside from the stuff that you're doing?
Yep.
What are some of the more popping stuff? Because you said like the up and comers, we haven't really seen that next generation
Or
yet.
maybe new spots you're excited
Yeah,
about.
exactly. Like what's going on in the
Interesting.
city?
Where's the
Tell
buzz?
us, because I don't know shit. I'm out of the loop. So please.
I mean, I haven't really heard about much coming up. I do know there is John Jay from Bordel is working on a boutique hotel in Old Port.
Shout out John.
Yeah,
Old
and-
friend of mine.
And he's actually supposed to be opening a supper club inside there.
Sick.
I didn't get much more detail on that, but that's one of the spots I heard that's coming out like sometime next year. Other than that, I really haven't heard much nightclub wise.
What's popping now? Like on a Friday or a Saturday night, like where are the lineups?
Friday, Saturday nights, I'll be completely honest with you. If let's say I had someone from out of town, even someone from Montreal that really like had a birthday and I want them to have a really good time, I would probably send them to Subois. They're crushing it on Saturday. Fridays too.
And what's the crowd? What kind of spot is that?
Upscale.
Yeah, it's
More
a-
mature
yeah.
crowd.
It's a supper,
No
it's a supper
baseball
club.
hats, obviously.
You know what?
Dress shoes?
That's something that
He'll go with his baseball hat.
you know what?
Right, you-
That's something that actually that's another topic, but that actually really bugs me. Like, it's not even about the baseball hat. For me, it's like you're supposed to look good.
That's right.
That's all it is.
And streetwear is more expensive than quote unquote dressy shit.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
remember
anyways.
back in the day, I tried to get into Tokyo. I was wearing a velour Outcast jumpsuit. This thing was like
But you just looked
$1,000.
ridiculous.
No, it was like $1,000.
But that just looks ridiculous.
No, it was like it's the most expensive thing in there, unless some girls got something stupid.
I wouldn't
on.
let you in a
They wouldn't
velour
let me in?
Outcast suit either.
It was Tokyo on like a Wednesday, and it was before I knew the Goon Tribe guys, and like I was in like, and they're like, "You're not coming in." And luckily, the girl I was with had a sweater that was like oversized, and I went into her car. I put on like some McGill sweater. They let me right in.
They thought you were
Like,
a
what?
college kid. So, Subois, what else?
Yeah. What else?
Flagen is always popping. Like honestly, like
Where's this? Sorry.
Flagen.
Old Port.
Oldport. Okay.
Yeah, Flagen. Like they're about 5 years old now, but like when they first opened, the hype they had, just man, all the noise they were making. Like I just find since Flagen, because I remember when Opera closed, everyone wanted to be the next Opera, right? And I find
It was a big fight for the Sundays.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I find like there was nothing that really lived up to Opera after, and then the next big thing,
New City Gas.
yeah, New City Gas obviously, but New City Gas more like for me,
Corporate.
yeah, it's a venue. It's more of a
Right.
show.
That's more of a concert venue than
Yeah.
anything. There is like the
It's
small room
it's
there.
a big party, but it's not a personal party.
Right, and that
Yeah.
small room is nice, but if you're in the big room and there's like something popping, that's where you want to be,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I actually worked at New City Gas for one like half a year almost, because summertime they only have the patio open.
right.
So summertime I took off, and I love the guys there. Like they're my friends, but I realized quickly I didn't fit in because, like you said, I like hosting.
That's right.
And what I realized about New City Gas is these people aren't coming for me. You know, like
They're coming for the event.
they're coming for Tiesto. So once I book their table and get them in, it's like I'm not needed anymore. I don't need to talk to you and ask you how your weekend was.
Yeah.
You're just staring at Tiesto. You don't, you know, like, so then I realized I actually,
The personability.
yeah. And I actually enjoy that part. I actually enjoy, like tomorrow when I go into Joe Verse, I look forward to seeing somebody I hadn't seen in 2 weeks and just catching up, you know?
And I think something that maybe a lot of people don't realize is a large part of what you do as a promoter, in my opinion, is not just the hosting, but it's the networking, right? People go out to meet
Being
people,
social.
whether it's to meet girls or whether it's to, you know, network for whatever business they're in. And I think that part of a good host is not just to get people fucked up. It's also to introduce good people to each other. Like, hey, Bless is my homie. He's in the music business. This guy does this intro. I think you guys should connect. Hey, let's have a shot all together. Because that's priceless.
Exactly.
That's how you really, people want to come back because they're like, yo, my homie introduced me to somebody that was a good look for my project.
On that note, have you ever introduced two people that like later on down the line, maybe a Bless and a producer kind of deal, where you put two and two together and you were like, I did that. Like, you don't have to toot your own horn too much, but maybe there's like a conversation.
I'm sure there's a few.
That you put together. I'm not saying like we'll keep it legal, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I mean, obviously,
always legal. But maybe even relationship, like people who got married.
I'm curious, like some of your best connects that you put together.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's happened a lot, but off the top of my head, I don't even remember. Like, I mean, for sure, if I've got people, like a guy and a girl together for sure. As far as on the business side, I've got a lot of people in their first gigs and they work their way up, whatever. But off the top of my head, I can't.
I mean,
remember.
nightly, that's what he's doing.
Well, that's it.
He's networking every night.
Maybe there was like a Tiesto and like a booking agent for like the States or something that.
Oh, Tiesto didn't need a booking agent for the States by the time he was coming
he doesn't
here.
need a booking agent, but you understand what I'm saying. It's like
I know what you mean.
Maybe there was one where you're like, oh shit, this was a big moment that I did by fluke kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Just two people that are in the room at the same time.
Or maybe he didn't even realize it and they don't want to admit because they don't want to give him his envelope.
When I do that stuff, I honestly don't even... That's
you're not doing it for the show, you're doing it for you.
That's nothing too. It's like, I've had people where I set up something, you know, and they're like, okay, how much do you want? And I always say no, because... And I swear to you, I've never accepted... If it's not my gig, I'll never take money, because my mind frame is, you know what? I did something for you. Later down the line, you might have something for me, and you might do it for me, you know.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the way it should be. And like, for instance, this Wednesday, I'm hosting a party in Toronto at EFS.
Nice.
And I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? Because I'm hosting, why don't I bring the two DJs that I work with all the time there, and they get exposure from themselves in Toronto.
That's right.
And I don't even think of that as like, oh, I just
put your man on or something.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Just organic.
Yeah, I didn't even.
This is what makes sense, and you're doing it because it's the better for everyone involved, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I also want Toronto to get a taste of Montreal DJs too. You know, like.
And then you'll get a lot of good bookings. You know, when people come to Montreal, they'll be like, "Yo, I had a great time at your EFS event. Put us on, so it'll be, you know, good for your events in the future as well."
Yeah, exactly.
There's that trickle down. There's that like. You're not necessarily looking at it from like I need a quick buck or make a quick flip. It's really it's longevity.
It's a lifestyle.
Progressing your movement, the DJ's movement, the club's movement.
It's a lifestyle for sure.
Right.
Which leads me to my next segue.
Oh.
Lifestyle, culture, music-wise, what are you feeling? Fashion-wise, what are you feeling? What speaks to you? Who are you listening to? What are you rocking? What interests you?
You know what's crazy is because I'm in a nightclub 5-6 nights a week, if not 7, and I'm hearing, it's because I work in all hip-hop places, right? So I'm hearing the same song 5-6 times a week, if not more, because when it's a big hit, the DJ might play it even more than once in the same night.
Twice a night every day.
What's crazy is I'll pick up my boy to go to the gym, and I actually just put on a 90s playlist, or like,
of course,
you know, because I actually grew up on R&B. Like, I liked R&B, and like I'll put on SWV. You know,
maybe when you cry.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that's on your playlist.
But you just don't get that kind of music anymore.
That vibe is,
and it's not because I don't like what we're hearing today, but it's just because I hear it so much that I don't need to hear in my car too.
Sure,
so
of course.
So you stay away from like the top 40 or like the charting stuff.
Because he's getting bombarded with top 40 every night.
Yeah, like I hear it like in my restaurant too. It's gonna be in my playlist, so I'm hearing it every single night. That in the daytime when I go to the gym, or if I go driving to a meeting, I'm gonna put on music that I actually don't get to hear.
So that's an even more fun question. Who are you feeling from back in the day? What's some of your favorite shit? What's your shit?
Oh wow,
R&B or
you said he's an
hip-hop?
R&B cat.
R&B or hip hop, whatever.
Yeah, I was more of an R&B. I would be that kid.
Keith Sweat.
Yeah, like Jodeci, you know, like
Genuine.
back in the day, the remixes would be like on like mega mixtapes or whatever. So like I was that kid who was just chasing after, try to be the first cat to get that. Yeah, you know.
Well, whoever rapping on the one verse.
Exactly. But yeah, I like Keith Sweat, Jodeci, SWV, even TLC. Yeah.
It's hard not to. I mean, without the other stuff.
When they had the R&B mixtapes out of New York, the R&B mixtapes were crazy. Carl Thomas and all that shit. That shit was hard.
Yeah, like even my Tuesday nights, my DJ puts on a playlist before the night starts, like let's say during dinner, and it's all that kind of music, and that actually, like, it brings me back, you know. And it's not that I don't enjoy current stuff right now. It's just
it's good to have a healthy.
I'm going to hear that. I know I'm going to hear it. You know. So.
Me, I'm in New York a lot, and whenever I go to the club in New York, I feel like the DJs respect the lineage. Like, of course, you're going to hear the Drakes and the obvious shit, but they'll make sure to put the tie-in.
Yeah.
Okay, Drake flipped this idea. Here's the original.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'll play that. You know, the Drake Cash rules everything
what's
around me, and then they'll put the cream, the original.
What's his name? G Dep.
Yeah.
G Dep with that track, and now Wayne's
special
buzzing.
Delivery.
Yeah.
Wayne's buzzing
Little
like
Wayne
crazy.
flipped the G Dep special delivery.
Put it this way, when Drake came out with his track, I was actually remembering Lauryn Hill's X Factor.
Of course.
So I went back, started listening to X Factor.
But every DJ in New York will play both. That's what I love.
That's
I love
the move.
As
That's
a
the
historian, I love hearing both because you get a little education as the night goes.
love that.
Not that we need the education, but it's important for the culture.
No, but you start off with like an original "Killing Me Softly" and then go into like a Fugees, and I'm just like,
whatever.
That's nostalgic,
you know what
right?
I'm saying? Exactly. And as you get progressively more drunk, it gets more and more like you go further down memory lane, which is dope.
Down the rabbit hole.
That's it. And so what about brand-wise, fashion-wise? I know you're a cat. You like your streetwear. I see you got the Bape on.
Yeah.
You always got fresh kicks on.
Yeah, I always been like more in urban style, but like fashion-wise always. But what I find it's important because, you know, like everybody's on the Bape, Supreme, Off-White. But I find most of them are just on it because they see everybody else wearing it.
Of course.
And I find people don't actually take the time to actually figure out the proper look for them because, sure, people are wearing Supreme, but the fit might not be right on you.
Absolutely.
You know, like even me, I was wearing Supreme a lot, and then they switched manufacturers for their T-shirts, and the fit isn't right anymore. So now I'm trying to buy Supreme shirts from like
Back in
17 and
Good luck at a
older.
$500 a T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. But I was actually like, I have pictures of myself from 2003 wearing Bape and Supreme. You know, and what bothers me now is like, I'll go on my Instagram and a guy that shops at Zara will put on a Supreme pouch just to say he wears it. You know, like,
I know, I hate that shit.
But it's
not that there's anything wrong with Zara, but I'm saying you can't just dip in and out.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's not you.
Stop being a hype piece.
That's not you.
But stop being a hype piece.
Guys, just quickly, I think that's the biggest issue we have in today's society is that people don't formulate their own opinions. They just
wanna
go
jump
with the
on whatever
general
they see.
consensus.
Exactly.
I mean, someone outspoken like Kanye West will go on a rant. Everyone will be mad at Kanye for what he said, but you didn't even take the time to listen. You don't
one
know if
thing you
that's-
could say
that
about-
guy could have said that your family deserves $1 million, and you'd be like, "Fuck Kanye West."
And you know what?
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
you know what? As much as people criticize Kanye on a fashion tip, he doesn't follow trends.
Right.
He sets
Well, I'm
his
kinda
own
mad 'cause
lane,
he-
and people follow him.
guys.
People were laughing at him when he put out the beggar clothes with the holes in the sweatpants. Now everybody want to be shabby
But,
chic.
okay,
Everybody
Bless-
followed that.
Bless, hi. I've been wearing that shit for 10
You've
fucking
been shabby
years.
chic for a long time.
My whole look is a cartoon character. I wear the same fucking gray sweats, and Kanye ruined it for me. I buy a pair of gray sweatpants in the wintertime, and then I cut them as shorts in the summer. And now you go to Foot Locker, and there's cut sweatpants sitting there, and I'm like, that's my shit.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing that for 10 plus
To
years.
holler
now.
at your boy Yeezus, get some points on that, bro.
Fuck. Like my style is in now, and it kills me because this is my shit. Everyone's rocking a beard. Everyone's got their fucking sweatpants on, and I'm just like, I've been
You were
doing this
ahead
for
of the
15 years. Like, fuck off
You
with
were ahead
this.
of the curve. So you look for more like rare pieces.
Yeah, because I'm not that guy that, like, for instance, I was, for instance, I don't know if you know, we have a festival in St. Martin called SXM Festival.
Yeah, my boy Julian.
Yeah, exactly. So 4 years ago was the first year they did it, and
By the way, I'm coming next year.
St. Martin.
more host.
My favorite place to vacation.
More
I've been
hosting
many
then.
times.
Beautiful island.
I'll be there to pour the shots. I'll bring a
Exactly.
couple midgets on leashes. We'll let them bounce on trampolines. We'll
We'll
make a
cut
party.
this part out. It's okay.
We'll make a party.
So yeah, so 4 years ago, I just got back from New York, so I actually picked up a bunch of Off-White stuff.
Nice.
And back then, nobody really.
Yeah.
We-
Virgil
we-
didn't like super
we
pop.
had it Virgil at Lecole, and any VIP I told, yo, we got Virgil this week. They didn't know who he was, you know, but the kids did.
Yeah, of
They were
course.
lining up for him.
the kid,
Yeah.
all the kids who lined up for the shoes were
Yeah.
lining up there.
So I showed up to the festival, I was wearing my shorts, and everyone's like, yo, those are nice shorts. What are they? And then all of a sudden, like 2 years later, you see those striped shirts and everything. So not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just not the guy that wants to go to a place and see 10 guys wearing the same shirt as me.
I've been saying that forever, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather a pair of like back in the day, a pair of low key like Hirachis or ACGs, or even before like Hirachi and Air Max became this big thing. Like we would rather wear that than Jordans a lot of the time because it was just, you know what I mean? Like Tootie used to I used to get massive shit from them. And when being a sneakerhead back then wasn't even like a thing. Like
No,
there was
it's
just
few
a
and far
few of
between.
us. Yeah.
And again, back to what you were saying, it's like you're not trying to set trends. You're doing what's good for you. You're doing what you like. And then when it becomes exploited or like
jumps off.
it becomes, you're like, I'm out. Like I don't need this anymore.
Yeah, because I want my own look.
What's your favorite kick? What's your favorite Nike?
My favorite Nike, actually, still can't find them. I got a pair of Hirachi NMs. Most people, like, when I wore them, they didn't even know what they were. Me and Tootie's friend actually, like, showed us, like, a pair of them. We never seen them before, so we ordered one each. Mine were all white, so obviously they got destroyed. But I can't find them anywhere, so I can't rebuy them. But they're still my favorite design, the favorite shoe. You know, as much as 350s are played out, the reason why I like them is because they're the most comfortable shoe to wear, and I find it fits my look because I wear skinny jeans.
And
That's right,
that
it's
boost
almost
technology is so it's like walking on air.
Oh yeah,
It's like an air suspension
comfortable.
Cadillac.
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
you're not like a 97 Air Max 95.
I always,
97.
you know what? You could ask Tootie, 95s, the first, like, it came out in 1995, obviously, and I was, man,
first
I was
reissues.
a kid.
Yeah.
I was a kid in university, not really making that much money. I would spend my entire paycheck as soon as a new color dropped. Because they only had 4 colors the first year. And I made sure I was the first one to grab all 4 colors. And then
Classic, the neon.
and then I actually got disappointed when they reissued them. Because back then they weren't doing that really.
Never.
And then when they started doing that, I got disappointed. But
Early 2000s, they started these reissues.
yeah. And then 96 came out. I liked those. But the 97s I fell in love with.
97s.
And I actually liked 97 more than
95.
95 just because I have narrow
It's
feet.
a little more,
I have narrow feet,
yeah.
so the 95s look very like.
I got so many 97s from Tootie back in the day.
Yeah.
I had the fucking I still have them somewhere.
Who's Tootie, if you don't mind me asking? Because I keep hearing the name.
Tootie Flores, Jojo Flores' brother.
Okay.
He DJs a lot of his nights,
Yeah.
and he had a sneaker shop on Saint Laurent back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good Foot.
Yeah.
Goodfoot. Great name.
Yeah. And a lot of like the OG sneakerheads would.
That was the
little
spot.
selections.
I just looked at those NMs, the white ones.
Yeah.
Those are disgusting.
Yeah.
Those are really nice.
those
they're so hard to find.
97s, bro.
Yeah, those
There
are
was
dope.
some crazy ones.
As far as Air Maxes go, 97s are the year.
Well, originally my favorite was 95, but then I just started collecting a lot
Exactly.
of 97s because they were good too.
Yeah.
What about favorite Jordan?
I was
one.
never a Jordan guy.
But
Never
the
a
one
Jordan
if
guy.
you would wear it, according to your
Yeah,
style.
probably
You would
the
probably
one.
only wear a one.
I would probably wear one. Actually, I didn't mind the 4 either, or the 3 or 4 didn't mind either.
Yeah.
But the other
Classic.
ones,
But bulky still.
Yeah.
3 and 4, amazing. I love them.
Yeah.
But you're gonna wear them with a sweatsuit, a cargo, a short. The ones is the one you could just wear to the club. Like as you're dressed, you could probably put a pair of
yeah.
ones on.
I was never a Jordan guy.
Is there a reason for that?
Too much hype piece.
Right. It goes with
Legs
your
off the beaten
your
path.
other model where it's like everyone's on it, you're off it.
Yeah.
And now more than ever, oh my god. Like,
Yeah, it's
now
like-
Jordans are not even like a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Like even the shirt I'm wearing now, Pigalle, it's actually a streetwear brand from Paris.
nice.
So when I went to Paris for my honeymoon, I went to the store obviously, and I went. I probably bought like 3-4 bags worth of stuff, and then the second I was leaving in 2 days, and it just bothered me because I'm like, man, I don't know when I'm gonna get to go back to the store.
Yeah.
So I came back to work, bought some more stuff, and then I said to him, "Yo, do you have like a website?" And he laughed. He goes, "We have a website, but you can't shop on it." I'm like, "Why?" They go, "Because we
Sells
want that if you want a piece, you
gotta
gotta come
come
here and get it.
Yeah.
We don't want
Very
everyone
smart.
just
Yeah.
buying, and I really respect that because they could easily,
They don't want to hoe it out.
they could easily go that route
Right.
and make money, right? But
So what are some of your favorite brands that one you just mentioned, anything else like that you're really feeling? That's
I mean, I was
He
like,
doesn't
I
want to
said,
give away too much because then people are gonna start wearing it. Then he can't rock it anymore.
all right, I respect
No,
it.
I'm joking. I want to hear too. I'm going to buy them.
the one I'm really feeling right now is Heron Preston.
From where?
Heron Preston. He was actually him and Virgil were actually working with Kanye, helping him with his creative.
Early.
Yeah, and obviously Virgil took off, and Heron's taken off now. Now, if you notice, like when I went to Osheaga, every hip hop artist was wearing Heron. Most people don't know Heron yet because they're on Virgil. But
He's the next one to
He's his. If you look at his gear, it's very similar to Off-White. But I like the fact that when I wear his stuff,
They don't learn like, oh,
they're not.
Off-White.
Yeah, they're not. I'm not gonna bump into the guy wearing the same shirt as me.
Dope. So everybody check that shit out. And something else. Well, everybody don't check that shit out. Actually, sorry. I know you're like myself. You like a nice timepiece.
Yeah, I do.
a watch
I like watches.
I've always noticed that about you.
Well, a lot of my friends were like, they're into watches, and I just find like, I mean, I got so used to it, like I feel naked when I don't have my watch on, right?
Favorite Rolly.
Wow.
Not necessarily the one you're wearing it because we
Yeah.
can't see on camera. But what do you?
I like the Sky Dweller. I got small wrist, so I gotta go.
Sky Dweller's big though for you though.
It's 41.
It's
no?
big. Sky Dweller's chunky. It's one of the more chunky ones.
Anything that's about 41 and around 41, I could.
Not a Daytona guy.
I like Daytonas too. Those are my probably the two ones.
GMT or Submariner? What do you prefer?
Oh, well,
Submariner.
I have a sub now, so
We'll go with Submariner.
yeah.
And outside of Rolly, the obvious, are you an AP guy? What do you like?
Yeah, I like APs. I had a Hublot before.
I remember you had a nice one. I would
Yeah.
see it.
But yeah, I like AP. AP.
But AP's too big for a wrist, I feel.
Yeah.
Like it's a big watch.
Yeah,
For a big, it's like,
I got small wrists.
remember when
Same,
everybody had
same.
the Breitlings?
I don't like a watch on me. Like I wear a smaller watch because if there's one thing I'm subconscious about, it's my wrists. So
Yeah.
like to wear a big boy watch and have like attention to it.
But you're kind of a big boy, so you could wear a big boy
dude,
watch.
I do 10 push-ups and like my wrists are already starting to give away. Like
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
telling you, no, my wrists are shit. Like I'll throw a punch, I'll break my wrist. I know it. Like it is what it is. There's just certain things. I mean, I'm blessed with other things. The wrist, dad just didn't hook me up. I
Weak
guess.
wrist game. No flick of the wrist.
No, I don't
flick
flick.
of the wrist.
You know what? Jump shot's nice though.
There you go.
The jump shot's good. That's about it.
There you go.
What else we got?
Ooh, anything else you want to cover?
I love this conversation, and I should go to me, but I love this conversation because this is stuff that like I don't hear about.
Okay.
You know, I the Montreal club scene, I'm always enthralled by knowing it, and like
Yeah.
to hear you speak about it, fucking dope. It's the coolest. But
And I think there's a lot of
don't know
there's a
anything.
lot of kids out there that definitely are interested in getting into your business.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of people could benefit soaking up some.
maybe
game.
we find that
If
next
people
up
want to
and cover you're
reach
looking.
you.
Yeah.
What is your handle? Where can they find you on social media?
I mean, I'm on Instagram a lot.
What's your Instagram?
It's at Tongue B.
Okay.
But at the same time too, it's like I'm not the type that's gonna post 3-4 posts a day because I don't want to, annoy people. I find a lot of people abuse it. So like, and also like I have one of my good friends is actually a photographer. So if you look at my Instagram, it was actually to kind of give you insight of what a night in Tongue's life looks like, So
Dope.
it's very
So you have
organic.
a photographer following you.
Yeah, and it's not because I notice, man, nowadays like people are so scared to stare at the camera. They'll make their friend take a picture and they'll look away and try to make it look candid, but it's so obvious, right?
big candid.
Yeah, but it's like my dude actually, I don't even know where he is in the room, and he's just gonna catch me. I'm gonna have a conversation with you, and I want somebody that goes on my Instagram and be like, "Oh, okay, so this is what Tongue's night is like."
Yeah, this is what it feels like.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is what I can expect.
Most of the pictures of me holding a bottle, though, so that's my life
That's
pretty
what
much.
the-
Yeah.
Fair. It's good branding. I think for the kid that's up and comer, the one that's looking to get into the game, do you want them to holler at you? Should we say?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Because honestly,
are you receptive? Because like tattoo artists, for example, sorry to cut you off. Fuck off. Like if I'm a tattoo artist, I don't want anything to do with most that I've spoken to, at least.
Yeah.
They're not into like the apprentice stuff unless it's like in the later stages. For someone like you who's been in the game for a while, are you looking for an understudy? Are you looking for someone to teach game to?
Honestly, if somebody actually, and I've had guys come up to me and told me they looked up to me, or that I always actually try to help
dope.
them. Because you know why? It's because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be doing this forever, and
Sure.
if there is gonna be a kid that can be, let's say, the next Rafi or whatever, because I mean, I don't want our nightlife to just get worse and worse, right?
Absolutely.
I want it to still, and to be honest, like as much as we say it's not what it used to be, the people that grew in this generation don't know that. They know what's going on now. So for
which
them,
is normal.
they're having a good time, you know?
Sure.
It's just we saw something different.
Listen, we still have a beautiful city and we still have a vibrant nightlife. Don't get us wrong. It's just coming from the crazy pandemonium that we came from. It's hard to compare. But,
The eras, right?
But everything comes full circle.
Yeah.
And Montreal seems to be on an up curve. There's shit fucking popping up everywhere.
Condos
New
everywhere.
businesses, new buildings. So, and the infrastructure is getting completely redone. So we might just have a
Let's
nice
hope for
little
the best,
upcurve
right, guys?
coming.
Let's bring it back to the heyday when it was bumping.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's like we can't really. It's a different era now.
Sure,
so
of course.
it's just like if we talk about basketball, it's a different era now. You know, like you can't really compare.
It's just the world is softer. It is
Yeah.
what it is. I'll say it. You don't have to.
yeah, because of how easy we're making it for everybody, right? Like promoter wise, like
access too easy.
if I want to throw a party 10 years ago, I didn't have Facebook, Instagram. I had to flyer.
We were calling people, flyering,
Exactly.
texting them, annoying them, telemarketing. Hey, bro, what's up? I need you to come check me.
And actually, what's crazy is my birthday just passed last week, and I did a party on Thursday.
belated.
Thank you,
Happy
appreciate
birthday,
it.
yes, of course.
And now in today's scene, people are stuck on like if it's their anniversary or their birthday coming up, they're gonna go to every club they know and then pretend they came to support you to make you come to their birthday, right? For me, it's like it's not sincere, you know. And then my birthday, like I was fortunate enough that it actually popped off. It was, and the guys at Somewhere were really happy, like, yo, you know, like you killed it tonight. And I didn't, you know, post on Facebook and tag.
You weren't trying to.
I didn't go see people and say, hey, you have to come see me now. I actually just hit up 30 of my 40 and closest friends, and from hitting up 30 people, they called up other people, and it just
there's a trickle down effect.
Yeah, and it's like it's something they actually look forward to instead of just, you know, oh, now I have to go see. Yeah,
right.
So
so where can people come check you? You're at Tuesdays at Jover's.
Yeah, I'm at Somewhere Thursday. I'm at Confessional Sunday. I'm usually at École Privée too, but I'm at my restaurant a lot also.
What nights do you at École Privée?
Right now we're open Friday, Saturday, but they're about to launch a new night this Thursday, so they'll be open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm in and out of there, but like, I mean, if I know you're coming, for sure I'm gonna go in.
And of course, check out the new restaurant.
We're going. We're eating dumplings in like the next like week max. Just I'll pick you up. You pick me up. Whatever has to happen.
Got you.
Definitely do
I
it.
want in.
Thank you very much for coming on the show, my
Thank you guys,
brother. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. And the show would not be complete without us doing our shot.
There you go, gentlemen.
Cheers,
my
guys.
brother. Congratulations on your new projects and
Thank you, man.
continued
Appreciate
success in all your endeavors.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Respect.
It's your boy Bless, my boy Tongue B. Let me know. You know what it is, the moment of truth. Peace.
Represent one time on the M.I.C.